Right now, we're watching something pretty wild unfold in the AI world. It's a story that's moving beyond the quiet labs and research papers and spilling out into the public square. Two of the biggest AI companies on the planet are in a full-blown rivalry. And it's not just happening through model releases or technical benchmarks anymore. This has become personal. They're throwing shots through advertising, timing surprise launches to steal each other's thunder, and low-key subtweeting each other in public. Honestly, this whole thing feels less like a tech race and more like Kendrick versus Drake for big tech. It's got diss tracks, strategic drops, and a whole lot of ego. And today, I want to break down exactly what's going on. The ads, the model drops, the timing drama, and why this rivalry actually matters way more than people realize. Because even if you don't care about AI at all, this is still pure cinema. David versus Goliath. Kind of at the center of all this are two companies. On one side, you've got OpenAI, makers of ChatGPT, the clear heavyweight. They're the household name, the one your parents have actually heard of. On the other, Anthropic, creators of Claude, the AI darling inside tech Twitter. They're the cool indie band that all the hardcore fans swear is better. Now here's where things get interesting. If you look at traffic numbers, ChatGPT isn't just winning, it's dominating. Roughly 415 million monthly visitors. Claude, about 15.5 million. That's a staggering difference. And here's the wild part. Perplexity, DeepSeek, and Gemini all have more users than Claude, which feels crazy if you live inside the AI bubble. Because on X, people talk about Claude like it's the gold standard for coding. It has this reputation for being more thoughtful, more thorough, and just better for complex tasks. And honestly, I get it. I love Claude for coding too. But this gap explains why this whole situation feels like David versus Goliath, even though both companies are insanely powerful. One has the market, the other has the hardcore fans. Two bombs dropped on the same day. Now here's where the drama really ramps up. On the same day, less than an hour apart, both companies dropped their most powerful coding models ever. Anthropic went first. Around 9 a.m. Pacific, they released Claude Opus 4 and 6, their most advanced model to date. Then, roughly an hour later, OpenAI responded with GPT-5.3 Codex, a model built specifically for agentic coding. Both launches were clearly aimed at the same audience: developers, builders, and anyone using AI to actually do work. This wasn't about casual chatting, this was about professional tools, and according to TechCrunch, this wasn't an accident. Both companies were originally planning to release at 10 a.m. Pacific, but Anthropic quietly moved theirs up to beat OpenAI to the punch. They wanted to own the news cycle, even if just for an hour. Petty? Absolutely. Strategic? Also yes. It's a classic marketing move to control the narrative. The Super Bowl ads. Anthropic chose violence. Now, let's talk about the ads, because this is where things get spicy. It's Super Bowl weekend in the US, the biggest advertising stage on the planet. Both companies bought ad slots. OpenAI played it safe, talking about their product, their mission, their vision. It was corporate, polished, and exactly what you'd expect. Anthropic chose violence. Their ads show people asking an AI for advice, like how to bake a cake or deal with a difficult boss. And, mid-response, the AI suddenly pivots into an ad. Speaking of rising, have you tried our new sourdough starter? Completely derails the conversation. It's jarring, annoying, and incredibly effective at making a point. And the implication is obvious. This is what AI with ads will feel like, which is a direct jab at OpenAI, because OpenAI recently confirmed that ads are coming to ChatGPT. Here's the important context though. OpenAI has been very clear that ads will not appear inside chat responses. They'll be outside the conversation, clearly labeled, more like a Google search results page, not an interruption. So Anthropic's ad isn't exactly accurate, it's a caricature of the worst-case scenario. But here's the clever part, they never mention ChatGPT by name. It's plausible deniability. With a wink, they're planting a seed of doubt about the entire concept of ad-supported AI. Sam Altman responds and makes it bigger after the ad started circulating. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, responded publicly on X. He said essentially, "The ads are funny, I laughed, but they're dishonest. We would never do this." Then he explained OpenAI's stance. Ads allow free access. Monetization keeps the system alive. More access means more people benefit. All reasonable points. He's making a logical, principled argument. But here's the irony. Sam's response got 8.8 million views. The Anthropic ad itself, about 2.7 million. So by responding, he accidentally amplified the exact thing he was criticizing. He gave their ad 3 times more visibility. Classic Streisand effect. Someone even replied saying, "Never respond to playful humor with an essay. Just say, 'Damn, they cooked us.'" Hard to argue with that. Claude Opus 4.6. Why coders are excited. Let's talk models. Because behind all the drama, there's some seriously impressive tech. Claude Opus 4.6 is a massive upgrade, especially for developers. The headline feature? A 1 million token context window. That's huge. For perspective, that's like feeding it the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy and then asking it questions. In practical terms, it means you can drop nearly an entire codebase into the model and ask it to reason across everything at once. For vibe coders, researchers, and builders, this is a big deal. It changes the scope of problems you can solve. Anthropic also claims improvements in financial analysis, research, document creation, skau one creed jams, anau, and multidisciplinary sky motorboard can now decide how long to think based on the complexity of the task. Simple questions get fast answers, hard problems get more thought, and according to benchmarks, Opus 4.6 performs incredibly well on knowledge work, agentic browser use, and complex reasoning exams. Claude is available right now, both on the site and via API. GPT-5.3 Codex, the self-improving moment. Then OpenAI dropped GPT-5.3 Codex. This model is laser-focused on agentic coding. It's not just about writing code, it's about creating an AI that can act like a junior developer on your team. And here's the part that genuinely blew my mind. OpenAI used early versions of Codex to help build Codex itself. Debugging, deployment, evaluation, and AI helping accelerate its own successor. This is the recursive self-improvement loop that people have been talking about for years. That's not sci-fi anymore, that's now. And performance-wise, GPT 5.3 dominates several coding benchmarks, especially Terminal Bench, which is designed to test real-world developer tasks. It's not available via API yet, but it's already live in paid plans and the new Codex app. Side-by-side test. Same prompt, 2 models. So I ran a simple test. A real-world bake-off. Same prompt. No tweaks. Build a beautifully designed landing page for a surfboard company based in San Diego. Claude finished first, by about 15 seconds. OpenAI finished shortly after. Both outputs were clean, modern, animated, totally usable. These weren't just code snippets, they were functional, aesthetically pleasing starting points. If I had to pick a winner, I'd give a slight edge to GPT 5.3 Codex, mostly because the design felt a bit more polished. The color palette and layout just felt a little more professional out of the box. But honestly, this is splitting hairs. AI coding is officially good now. We've moved past the "is this possible" phase and into the "which one is slightly better for my specific task" phase. Why this war is actually good for us. And that brings me to the bigger picture. I don't have a dog in this fight. I pay for both. I use both. I like both. But competition like this is healthy. It's essential actually. It forces companies to move faster, be more transparent, and stay honest. If there were only one AI provider, ads would be inevitable and uncontested. Pricing would be whatever they wanted it to be. But because there are multiple players, they keep each other in check. They have to compete on price, on features, and even on ethics and safety. And the real winners? Us. We get better models, we get better tools, and we get faster progress. So for now, I'm just sitting back, popcorn in hand, enjoying the chaos. Because this chaos is what pushes the entire field forward. If you like this breakdown and want more weekly AI news, deep dives, and tutorials, like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for nerding out with me.